Hi all, welcome back to Tree Change Soaps. Today I thought I'd actually make something a little bit different. It's called Little Black Kitten, and it's inspired by all of the harrowing stories I hear about poor little black kittens and cats not being adopted and being the last to be adopted internationally. And to me and to my friends, they are just beautiful little shadow balls of fluff with these gorgeous green eyes and remind me of Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. But yeah, so all I'm doing at the moment is just giving the oils a cursory stir. They are heated to, I believe, about 17 degrees because I was actually soaping at room temperature on this day. And unfortunately, the weather here in Victoria was just not the greatest of the last week, but today was just wonderful. 25 degrees, spring. But yeah, here I am pouring the lye or caustic soda water into the oils and giving them a little bit of a cursory stir with my spatulas before taking to it with a stick blender to emulsion. So emulsion is when it's not quite turned to trace. Trace is ideal when you're wanting to pour things, but because we're actually doing like a decent amount of faffing about with the soap making process, I like to make sure that I only get it to emulsion and then blend it to trace before pouring. So that was just me burping the blender before I give it a little bit of a pulse. And here comes the magic. And just giving it a few more pulses because why not? It's a little bit of fun. So how you can tell emulsion is what I'm doing here is actually looking at the bell of the stick blender to make sure that it's not separating, so they are combined properly. And here I am pouring the soap batter into some black oxide from Heirloom Body Care. Now with fragrance oils that I haven't used before, I like to add them by hand and give them a hand stir because you just don't know how the batter is going to react with the fragrance oils, and each fragrance oil is entirely different in its composition. So here you can see the black oxide from Heirloom Body Care. The C numbers on that are the CAS numbers. So when we actually go into the science of it all, that means that it is safe for certain uses. So an oxide is a reaction of a metal with oxygen. Just like our skin oxidizes, soaps oxidize, soap oxidizes, metal oxidizes. There are many things that oxidize when it comes into contact with oxygen, which is kind of cool when you think about it. And now that I've got it to the black that I'm after, in goes the fragrance oil. Oh no, we're going to stick blend first and then hand stir the fragrance oil in. So this is the moment where we actually do get it to trace. So in goes the fragrance oil and we hand stir that in. And it was a good thing too because this fragrance oil was a little bit naughty and decided to accelerate and heat very, very quickly. But for this type of technique, that is perfectly good because that's exactly what I was after. just making sure to actually scrape out my bowl, or my jug in this case, to try and make sure that we actually save as much of that soap batter mix as we can. And yes, I am a little bit of a messy soaper, as mentioned the last time. So yeah, there will be cleaning up to be done after this. So now we just wait for it to set up. Here's the cool thing about this technique. There are so many soap artists out there that are just phenomenal. So this is a scrape technique, so we need to actually make sure the soap batter is quite hard. Now I got this scraper and stamp set from Wickdlee Goods, who I mentioned in my last video is one of my favourite soapers. She's a real powerhouse. She's very talented with a lot of different things. She is on par with Keely in my eyes. She keeps it real. She talks about real and valid concerns and does it in a way with grace, which I love. So yeah. So what I'm doing now is just actually scraping the excess. So we want that shape in the soap. And yes, it is a messy process, and no, that excess soap does not go to waste. That goes to family and friends. And it can be a little bit of a tedious process as well. Like when I was initially filming this footage, there was at least 5 minutes of it, so I cut most of it out for you guys so that we wouldn't get too bored watching me just scrape the soap mold out. Running through it again just to make sure I've got the shape that I'm after. Now, unfortunately, as with any soaper or any crafter or artisan or jeweler can attest, some days some things just don't work, or they don't work as well as you'd hope they would. And unfortunately, this soap was one of those for me. And it still turned out pretty good, so I'm pretty happy. So now I'm just up to the part where I'm actually stick blending the contrasting colours. So starting off with the white and titanium dioxide. And then moving on to the neon pink. And then the rose gold. So the fragrance oil I'm using today is called Ethereal Glow by Australian Candle Supplies. And just quickly, I thought I'd actually pull up the scent notes because it is just amazing. It smells so nice. It's really, really complex. So the top notes are apple, bergamot, and orange. Cassis, pear, pineapple, and marine. I don't know what that is, but it smells good. The mid notes are flowering aloe, jasmine, rose, muguet, and plum. And the base notes are almond orris, tonka, and sheer musk. So it's got a very well-rounded, earthy, sweet, hard to describe fragrance, but it is absolutely beautiful. Now, what you guys don't know was that when I was actually developing this design, I was wanting to do it in the pot swirl, but when it came down to making, I totally forgot about it. So we ended up doing the drop swirl anyway. And as with the last one, a drop swirl is the higher up you pour it from, the more the colour of the soap penetrates into the soap bed. So the lower you have your pouring jug, the more it sits up the top. And just while I've actually got you guys, I had a really fantastic question asked by a friend of mine, Lauren. So shout out to Lauren. Hey babe, hope you're doing well. But she asked why I use palm oil. And this is a very heated topic when it comes to soap makers because you're either one or the other, generally speaking. I'm a little bit of both. I make palm-free soap recipes, but I also, when I do use palm, I use RSPO certified palm oil. And the difference is incentivizing people doing the right thing, I think, is the nicest way to put it. Because no one wants anyone to have undue suffering, or any animals, or any flora, or any fauna. It is just not a nice thing. So I do use RSPO certified palm oil when I do use it, simply because of the properties that it brings to the soap. If you'd like to read up more about palm oil, I do actually have a blurb about it on my website at www.treechangesoap.com. And I've given a little bit of a base term. So when it comes to certified oils and stuff like that, there is so much to dive into with such a small amount of time. But yeah, if you guys are interested in actually having a look at that, by all means go for it. So we're up to the cutting stage, and I got a little bit too excited and didn't wait the full 18 to 24 hours. I took it out maybe about 15 hours in, so it was still a little sticky. And now we're just throwing it into my soap cutter. And boom, 10 bars of soap cut in one fell swoop. They sort of act like a cheese cutter, but way cooler. They have like guitar pleck things that you can tighten and stuff, and yeah. I just absolutely love the look of this soap. It's so cute. Even if they didn't all turn out beautifully. Now those scrapey lines are sadly from the wires. So like when you cut a soap by hand with a knife or with a single bar cutter, most of the time they can be a little bit shinier. But because I do use an industrial cutter, which is a fantastic industrial cutter, they do sometimes have that scrape mark. But yeah, it's nothing very big to concern yourself with. I do actually shave them down and make them look beautiful and stamp them and do all of the things. Okay, and we're back with the stamp. And as you can see, it's a cute little cat face. And I'm just pressing lightly with the heel of my hand while the soap is soft to create an indent in the soap. Now sadly, because of unfortunately my user error, I went a little bit low with the soap scraper, and yeah, some of them didn't turn out as I'd hoped they would, as you can probably tell. So some of the stamps just weren't great. I think this is where I gave up on this bar and just went, well, this one's mine. So we can have the cat stamp a little bit further up. And here I have a mixture of shimmer mica mixed with isopropyl alcohol from Heirloom Body Care. And I would be suggesting, if you guys are actually looking at getting into soap making for yourselves as a hobby or as a retailer, definitely check them out. Kerry and the girls are just absolutely amazing. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. I just love them. And yeah, I've been working with them for years now and can't go past them. They're just amazing. And if you like that little bit of additional extra customer service, then you'll love them. So here I am just hand painting in where I stamped to make the features stand out. Now, granted, I'm not great at this. Never proclaimed I have been, but I do enjoy it regardless. And I think majority of them actually turned out pretty cute. So yeah. Oh, also, I just wanted to actually say a quick thank you to those who, over the weekend, participated, shared, and liked with my website launch, which was absolutely amazing. And thank you so much, guys. Like, endless love, and especially those that ordered, because as we all know, in Australia right at the moment, financial situations around here are just sad. It's a very sad situation. There are so many people that are very much struggling, and that includes your local small businesses. So I generally, when I did get the orders coming through, and this is just, I was doing a happy dance and giggling and laughing. So yes, I would be definitely urging those of you, if you can, and you're wanting to look for gifts, buy local. It is so important. Those small businesses, your support means the world to them, myself included. But that's what I'd be definitely urging this Christmas, because it keeps the local economy going. And yeah, I believe we are almost at the end. So these soaps will cure, and they will be available on the 14th of December this year. So stay tuned. Bye.